Awesome, man.
All right.
Can I get one on mine, maybe?
Sure.
Sweet. I want to put it on my Instagram. I'm doing the video, but I just want to say I ran into Jake Delonte here at the GIE Expo. We've been down here for a little while, having a good time. A lot of nice people and everything, yeah. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, I learned so much stuff. You know, I was talking to some of the guys down there for doing fertilizer treatments and things like that. So I can't wait. I'm going to put this up on YouTube as well, too. So, yeah, hey, nice to meet you, Jake. Yeah, awesome. All right. Me too, guys.
Okay, so believe this or not, I'm actually trying to shoot today's episode outside, and it's like one of the coolest days of the year, but there's no snow again. Yeah, I gotta put some more layers of clothes on. Alright, I'm out and ready to go. Got my camera here. I'm actually bringing a big tripod today. That's right, I'm shooting this episode hands-free. There's like a little dog, I don't know, right over there somewhere. I can't zoom in because I only got one hand. That sucks. Sorry. It's okay. I love dogs. I know. It's okay. Alright, I'm not going to be able to shoot any narration out here, man. I just ran some audio tests in this damn camera here because there's no mic on it. The wind just blows right through it. But, so that means I get to film it inside, which I'm actually happy about too because it's freaking freezing out here. Didn't think about this ahead of time. It's so cold. But you know, just a big bummer, man. I mean, I had all these plans to like move cameras around and stuff. You guys know what I do with my videos. I would have gotten creative with it. I still do, though. So let's talk about niches in your business and how important niches are. Because believe it or not, it's something that a lot of us beginner long guys don't think about. So you know what, I figured I'm going to make a video about it today. I'm also aware that it is the beginning of February and the whole neighborhood is pretty much dead. Like literally, no one is out there. But either way, that's not going to stop me from making videos. Let's dive right into it. A niche is a situation that we're used to, a position we're comfortable with, or as we lawn and landscape guys would say, the type of situations we're used to working in. Like whether it's landscaping, lawn care, or both of them combined, the size of the properties we're working with, and the equipment we're using to maintain those properties. Let me give you a good example, okay? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. I run a small business here in my neighborhood. My niche are yards that are 2,500 to 5,000 square feet, and I maintain my yards using a Toro 22-inch push mower and a bunch of other stuff. In fact, here's how I tow my equipment around right here. So this is a video I made last August showing you guys how I tow my equipment around without the use of a truck or a trailer. Works really well if you're starting out. Good way to get your stuff around. So you can click right here to watch it. I'll even link it right up here if you're watching this on a portable device. And of course I'll leave it linked below as well. Alright, so a couple days ago I had somebody message me on Facebook asking me for work. In fact, that happens every once in a while. I have somebody asking me to do leaf cleanups or spring cleanups or anything related to lawn care pretty much. So I get a lot of messages on Facebook. And by the way, for those of you who actually text me, I'm sorry I never get to you. I'm still working on a better way to scale it, so I'll get back to you whenever I get that worked out. I've gotten this text on Facebook from somebody, I'm not going to reveal his name because I'm not that type of person who would do that. Let me just tell you a little bit about the job here. He texted me asking, hey Jake, you think you can help me out? And right away I didn't think yes or no because, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to judge a book by its cover. What I did, I asked him, okay, can you give me details? Like for example, how big is the yard? How far are we? What are we talking about? What situation do we need done? So he got back to me that very same day and he told me the situation. The yard is 3 acres, which is really big, and he's having some clover issues that he would like me to come and subside. Now, for those of you who know me and watch my videos, I've never applied weed control before, and if I did, I probably would have made a video about it a long time ago. I'm going to do some experimenting with weed control this year, but not to a point where I feel like I can offer that as a business, and plus, I think you have to be licensed to do that, so I'm not even licensed to a point where I can use weed control on somebody else's lawn. That'll be something in the future. but it's just not something I'm ready to do. And I think you guys understand how this kind of relates to me being in my niche. And especially 3 acres, that's way out of my niche and it's a little bit out of range from where I work. So real quick, before I go any further, let me just defend myself by saying I do maintain my Grandma Linda's lawn, as you guys know who watch the videos. That lawn's about 1 acre, and it's a little bit out of my niche, but I still do it. Typically, I would not count that as a regular account because she is my grandma, she's family, I'm not going to charge her for it. I pretty much do it more as a favor than part of the business. Plus, I do have a riding mower, so that makes it a lot easier, and 1 acre's not that bad, really. So there's one thing I have to think about here. Let's say I got 4 lawns. Actually, let's times it 2. So this 4, this is actually 8. Let's say I got 8 lawns to cut in the neighborhood. So I'm going to get $70 just for doing 2 of them. I'm going to times that by 4. I'm going to make $280 in a day. And then we got this big lawn over here that's way out of my niche, 3 acres. Might take me a whole day to figure it out. So over here, I don't think I'll have that much luck, especially when I've never used weed control before and I don't even have the resources available to apply it to that big of an area to try and figure it out. I'll be there all day and I probably won't make as much income as I would if I sticked with the program. If anybody were to ask me, it's not worth it to go out there and bust my butt for an entire day just to make not as much money as I would sticking with the program. Make sense? Now, I'm not saying that this should be the case for all of your properties. Like, anytime you get a bigger offer, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I'm not saying that you should say no to it, like I just said earlier, but what I'm saying is that if it's bigger and it's going to take a longer time, but you're not going to get as much income as you would if you stick to the regular program, it's not worth it. But if you have a chance to probably make more income in a day than you would compared to your regular program, then yeah, maybe you can consider it. Plus, another thing I have to think about right now is the equipment I have, because you guys know that I'm limited to just a push mower and walking around the block with all the equipment tied to it, so I don't have anything close to the equipment I need to maintain a yard that big, especially not right now. I'm not saying that I never will have it, I'm just saying it's going to take a little bit more time in order for me to get the equipment I need, and eventually once I make all the upgrades I want to make to my company, then maybe later on I'll be able to consider jobs that big. But for right now, I just got to stick with the program. I need to get my company established a little bit more, and then I can probably consider properties that are a little bit out of my niche, a little bit bigger. One thing that gets to a lot of us, especially when it comes to staying in our niche when we're just starting out, which would pretty much be the small yards, medium yards, whatever we were talking about earlier, the one thing that can always get to us and stress us out immediately is competition. Because believe it or not, we see competition everywhere. They're like a lot bigger compared to you and me, and then most of us are stuck thinking, I want to be like these guys. In fact, I want to be better than these guys. I want their jobs. I want to do what they're doing. I want to do the commercial properties like they do. I want to do all these things. Now, the only way you're going to get there is by developing a step-by-step plan. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so first up, what I got here is a little graph. So what I got is my number of clients right here and the amount of income I make per week right here. So let me put that right here, per week. This is me right now. I got 7 lawns and I make $245 in a week. Basically, you take that, divide it by 7, and you got $35 per lawn. I got some corner lots in there. They're a little bit bigger. I probably should charge a little bit more for those, but we'll see where we go with those. For now, everything is $35, leaving me with a total of $245. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stay within my neighborhood. This is a map of my neighborhood. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell myself, hey, look, anything beyond this line, I can't approach right now, okay? I don't have the resources to go beyond this line yet. It's kind of like when you play a video game, right? The only way you're going to be able to pass a level is if you have the resources you need to do it and the powers you need. Same thing works with a lawn business. When you start it, the best way to start is by staying within your niche. Some of you might be asking, hey Jake, shouldn't you already have the whole neighborhood know you by now? The answer is yes, but there are a few things I screwed up on. When I was handing out flyers last year, I was too lazy to print out enough to get to the entire neighborhood, so I did like every other house. You shouldn't really do that because you don't get a lot of luck that way. I probably got a lot of houses over here, a few over here. That explains why a lot of my clients are located on this half of the neighborhood. One day I'm out mowing, right? I have a client over here I have somebody across from one of my clients in the middle block ask me, do you do this as a job? And I'm like, yes, I do. That's great getting recognized like that, but that guy could have probably known who I was if he would have received a flyer from me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay in my neighborhood, pass out more flyers, keep doing that every year, maybe share with the neighborhood Facebook group, and then gain more exposure that way. And also establish myself. So by establishing myself, would be creating an LLC, and just doing things like that. If I stay within my neighborhood, gain more exposure, and establish myself, it's going to also allow me to raise in the amount of clients and the amount of money I make per week. Now, I can't give you a specific number of what I got right now because I don't know how many lawns I'll probably have at this point to where I'm making an acceptable amount of money in this neighborhood, because I know I probably won't get all of them. That number still remains to be seen, I guess. Either way, that brings us to step 2. Once you get to a point with your income where you feel comfortable to where you're like, I think I'll be alright if I make a few investments there. I'll be able to pay them off if they don't work out well. So what you're going to do is you're going to invest in equipment you'll need to expand. A truck and a trailer, a bigger mower, a better, higher quality trimmer and blower, and better gas cans, maybe depending on whether you like your gas cans or not. This stuff you're going to need later on in order to expand. You're not going to be able to get away with pushing a mower around, having your trimmers and everything mounted. You're not going to be able to walk that far. You wouldn't even last 5 minutes. Whenever you feel comfortable to a point where you can make an investment, this is what you want to look into. So am I saying that you have to do this? And the answer is no. You can stay within your niche as a full-time thing if you want to. But if you want to expand, you want to do bigger properties, you're going to have to consider some of this stuff. It's just going to happen. If you prefer to just stay in your niche and keep doing that for all of your time in business, that's fine too. It'll work out. As long as you're making the money you need, you're all good. So that's pretty much how I would sum it up. Again, it can be a little bit different depending on your situation, but it's always good to stay in your niche, make sure you're doing the work that you're used to doing. It'll benefit your company a lot. But now here, I know I was talking about expanding, you know what I'm saying, getting bigger jobs that are a little bit out of your niche. What I'm saying is that this is all part of growing a company, guys. If you want to get bigger, you got to take this on. I'm not saying these things will not become your niche. I'm just saying that if you want to grow your company, the best way to do it is to stay within your niche. And then what you're able to do with the time that you're spending in your niche at the current time is you're able to gain more exposure there, and then once you gain more exposure there, you're able to use that higher amount of income you have and then buy yourself the equipment and stuff you need to expand. That's how you grow a business right there.